Hey guys, welcome. This is Dan with Ledger Support. Hope everybody is doing well today. So happy Monday. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. I just ran to the cafeteria to get some drink because I get a little thirsty during those lives. Hope everybody is doing well. So as usual, this is Ledger Support. So if you guys have any questions related to Ledger, cryptocurrency, you have an issue, technical issue with your Ledger, or you just want to learn more about Ledger products, or you've got a question for me, anything goes, okay? I'm here for you guys for the next hour. So if you have any question, drop them in the chat, and then I'll go sequentially one question after the other. As you probably noticed, it's just me today. Unfortunately, Prince is sick, couldn't make it, but I'll try my best to fill in for both of us. Before I continue, it would be amazing, guys, if you could just give me a little confirmation in the chat that you can hear me okay. And yeah, all is good. So yeah, once I've got the confirmation, I'll keep going, but it seems that you guys can already hear me. So, okay, great. So again, guys, welcome to the live, and I'll be here for the next hour, or, you know, as long as there are questions in the chat. And if not, we'll just wrap it up short. But let's begin now. Yeah, before we start, actually, just a quick disclaimer. As you know, there are a lot of scammers in crypto, unfortunately. Scammers will typically try to steal or trick you into sharing your 20-forward recovery phrase. So sometimes they will ask you directly on Twitter, maybe on YouTube. Less on YouTube, but it's mostly on Twitter, on Discord. I mean, there's tons of scammers on TikTok maybe as well. To be clear, Ledger will never ask you your 20-forward recovery phrase. Remember, anyone with access to your 20-forward recovery phrase will be able to steal your funds. So Ledger will never ask you for it. We don't have knowledge of it, and we don't want to know. Okay, so it's only for you. And again, scammers will typically try to take you to websites that might look like Ledger Live. Those websites will run a fake diagnostic on your computer, tell you that you need to update your account, or there is an issue with your device or whatever, like a fake sync. And then, of course, they will ask you for your 20-forward recovery phrase. Again, guys, it's not safe. Okay, never share or type your recovery phrase anywhere. Never create any digital copy of your recovery phrase. Anyone with your phrase will be able to access your accounts, even though they don't have your device. Okay, with that out of the way, and thank you guys for the shout out in the chat, we will start with the questions. So the first question, it's not a question per se, it's more like a shout out. It's from Sean. Sean saying hello. Hi, Sean. Hope all is good. The next is also hey from Planet Pokewood. So hey, how's it going? Welcome to the live from Paris. And Planet Pokewood also has a question. So the question is, my LTC Litecoin wallet, which is on my Ledger, got dusted a couple months ago. Should I be concerned? Is Ledger doing anything to prevent this? So that's a good question, just for you guys who don't know what dusted means. Dusted basically means that someone sends you a very small amount of coins to your account, in this case, your Litecoin account. And so basically you'll get a transaction in your wallet coming from this address. So Pokewood, you don't have to worry. The coins are actually yours, so your balance just went up a little bit. It's perfectly safe to keep the dust in your account. However, the reason why the hacker, or not really the hacker, but the scammer dusted your account is because they hope that you will, the next time you send or receive coins to your Ledger wallet, they hope that you will by mistake copy their address instead of your address and send coins to that address. So that's what we call, actually, we have a technical term for it. It's called address poisoning. and it's dangerous if you don't follow best practices when it comes to sending and receiving coins. Just to show you, whenever you send or receive coins in any account, you should always, so for example, you said Litecoin, okay? So here's, let's say this is your Litecoin account, okay? Maybe the scammer sent a little bit of dust and now it shows in the transaction history. Never go into your transaction history and copy paste, because that's what the scammer hopes, that you will grab their address instead of yours. Instead, use the send and receive button and always double check the transaction on your device, okay? Not just the first 4 characters and the last 4 characters, but every single character, okay? And apart from that, it's perfectly safe, so don't worry about the dust. It can stay in your account. If anything, now your Litecoin balance went up just by a tiny bit, so it's free money. Okay, I hope that answered the question. The next question is from Reina Zabi. Can I withdraw my assets from one country to another country? Yes, the answer is globally yes. So let's say you've got crypto in Ledger Live, and let's say you've got some Bitcoin, for example, then you can go into the sell tab here, and you can use, so typically I think the main provider is Coinify, and you can, so the sell tab is, so here's the sell tab, by the way. It's pretty limited in terms of options. For now, it's mostly Bitcoin. And if you want to sell something else than Bitcoin, you might want to go into the Discover section here and use something like BTC Direct. There's more selling options. You can see them here. There's quite a lot of selling options, actually. But you'll have to link your bank account. Depending on where you are, you might have additional options. So for example, if you are located in India or in the Philippines, then you can use something like on Meta, here, this app here. Same thing, you have to provide, it's a third-party service. You have to provide them with, your banking information. And then if you want to sell, you'll have to go through their service to withdraw the cash from your bank account. Now, if you're just talking about a normal crypto transaction, buy and selling, then you can do it wherever you're located. It doesn't matter if you're located in Canada or in Vietnam or in France, you will always be able to send assets back and forth. That's the magic of crypto. There is no, KYC, or there's nothing preventing you from using your device. That's the reason why we exist, basically. Okay, so Reina, I hope that answered your question. If you want to tell me more about where you live, I might give you more accurate information, but I hope that will get you started. Next is Linwood Jones with a hugging face emoji. So Linwood, welcome back. Always good to see you on those chats. Next question is from Benjamin Burden. When will stacks be shipped? So we get these questions a lot, and the answer is it will be shipped when the product is ready to be shipped. So I know, guys, it's been a long time now that you guys have been waiting for your stacks, and believe me, I've pre-ordered the stacks as well, so I'm waiting for mine. I know it's super frustrating because it's been a long time, but yeah, we are working on it, and we'll make sure that whenever the device is ready to be shipped, you get a very good device. Okay, it's taking longer than we expected, and so I apologize on behalf of the company for this, but believe me, the stacks will be a good device, and whenever it is ready to be shipped, we'll send you an email. So keep an eye on your inbox, and we'll be communicating as well closer to the date. So yeah, and again, guys, I know it's been frustrating, but we are working on it. I see the stacks team every single day at the office, and I know they are, doing their best to ship the device as soon as possible. Okay, next is Bored and Flying. Yeah, same. I understand your frustration, Bored and Flying. So we're not scamming anyone. Okay, we're working on it. It's taking much longer than we expected. You'll get your stacks eventually, for sure. But yeah, I understand the frustration. So yeah. Next, Loki808. Hey Dan, hope you're well. I'm very well, Loki. I hope you are well as well. Please drop your questions in the chat if you need anything. Happy to see you back on the live. Next is Bastian Smith. Okay, all good. Okay, great. So thank you for the confirmation that you guys can hear me. I will proceed. Okay, next question is from the meter. Sorry. If I do not have my ledger with me, can I send coins or tokens to another wallet? I'm using desktop app, by the way. Yeah, so the answer is no. You won't be able to send coins just from Ledger Live, from the app, without your device. That's the whole point of having your device, is that every single transaction has to be confirmed on the device. If you do not have the device, you do not have your private keys with you, because the device stores the private keys. If you don't have the private keys, you will not be able to unlock your account and spend the funds. Remember, Ledger Live is not storing any coins, right? Ledger Live is just an app that's looking at accounts that exist on the blockchain. So Ledger Live is just like, pointing at those accounts and looking at the balance, and that's all it does. But Ledger Live does not store private keys, of course. And that's the difference between MetaMask, for example, which is a software wallet that will store your private keys, and Ledger Live that doesn't store any private key. Okay, the private keys within the Ledger ecosystem are stored on the Ledger device itself. So to answer your question again, if you don't have your device with you, you will not be able to move your funds out of your accounts. You will get an error message. Okay. All right, tons of questions in the chat. I will continue. So thank you guys. If you just joined the chat, the live, this is Dan with Ledger Support. I'm here for another 45 minutes, give or take. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Okay, next is Lynn Casey. Yeah, I remember Lynn. She's been on the live before, so welcome back, Lynn. So she says, the new Ledger user interface is so much better on mobile. 5 stars. Only additional improvement is if iOS can allow updates. Yeah, I agree with you. The mobile app has gone a long way to be better. To be honest, I remember when I joined the company almost 3 years ago, Ledger Live Mobile was very far from the current user experience. It wasn't that great. I think the app is pointing towards in the right direction. But of course, there is still stuff we can do to make the app better. But yeah, thank you, Lynn, for the nice comments. I'll escalate to your comment about updates. I'm guessing you mean automatic updates. In this case, that's the case on iOS, right? iOS will, run those automatic updates like any app. But if you mean the firmware updates with your Ledger device, that's actually a feature, right? Your Ledger device will not automatically update the firmware unless you authorize the updating the firmware. That's core to the security principles of Ledger. So that's by design. But the app itself, I think iOS, it should update automatically. If it doesn't update, you can go into the App Store and you can manually update the app. We just dropped version 3.30 that supports Cardano staking recently. So you might want to go back into the App Store and just tap the update button. Okay, next question from Ryan Stolder. When will Sora network be integrated in Ledger Live? You posted on your website in November last year, and that it will be integrated soon. Sora, let me check, Ryan. I do not think Sora has been integrated yet, but I will double check for you. That's why I like having Pringe with me, because Pringe has access to all this information about timelines and everything. But I don't, unfortunately. Sora, yeah, no, I don't think Sora. Yeah, Sora is not supported yet. But you know what, Ryan, if I get any news about Sora, I will share those news tomorrow. And we're doing a live tomorrow as well on Tuesday, so I'll make sure to give you an update if you tune in. Okay, next question from Alberto Ramirez. Hi, how can I install an account from Ledger Live? Okay, glad you're asking. I'll show you exactly what you have to do. Uninstall an account. Okay, yeah, I can show you that as well. So just keep in mind, you're not really uninstalling anything, right? You're just like hiding an account that exists on the blockchain. Okay, so that being said, you should be able to see Ledger Live here. All these accounts that show in Ledger Live, those accounts, they exist on the blockchain. Okay, so they are, by one of the properties of the blockchain is that it's not anyone can go and just delete your accounts, or your accounts are immutable. And that means that if you cannot remove those accounts. You can empty those accounts, you can move the funds, but the accounts on most blockchain will still exist. There are some exceptions, like XRP has an actual system for deleting accounts. I think Solana as well, Polkadot maybe, but something like Bitcoin, for example. Actually, even Bitcoin has a concept of deleting an account, even though that's not exactly what happens, but most blockchains, like Ethereum, the account will stay on the blockchain, maybe in an empty state. So let's say, so with that technicalities out of the way, I'll just show you how, if you want to remove an account from Ledger Live or hide an account from Ledger Live, you would just very simply right click, edit, and then remove from portfolio. And the account will be gone from Ledger Live. And then if you want to re-add the account later, you can use your Ledger device, add accounts, select, for example, I don't know, Ethereum, and then re-add the Ethereum account that you hid in Ledger Live. And that's all, okay? But again, you cannot technically like uninstall an account like you would an app on a phone, for example. It doesn't exactly work this way. Okay, I hope that wasn't too technical, Alberto, but let me know if I answer your question. Next question, board and flying. You took our money. Okay, yeah. So you seem pretty angry about stacks. I understand the frustration again, but the stacks is in the work, and we'll get you guys a device. Now, board and flying. If you have other questions, I'll be happy to answer those. But yeah, you'll get your device like everybody else. All right, next question, Lynn Casey. Okay, yeah, exactly, Lynn. So we are working on the pre-orders, including mine. So we're all in the same boat here, and you will get your device. Next question. So it's David Simonato. Okay, so it's a discussion about stacks, I think. Yeah, so you got an email, like everybody that pre-ordered the device got an email, and I think everybody will get something for free. So I think if you pre-ordered, you will get a free magnet shell with your device, and if you pre-order with the NFT, you will get that plus a nano device, an extra nano device. So it's a nice package. Again, guys, we appreciate your patience. I know it's been frustrating. Lynn Casey, for another piece of feedback. Hi, please add TradingView on Ledger Live or ask the devs. It would be great, and I will ask the devs. That would indeed be an awesome addition to Ledger Live for sure. TradingView. I remember using TradingViews in my trading days. Yeah, okay, I'll escalate that, Lynn. That's good feedback here. David, again, stacks can't reach out your support after many tweets and mails. The delivery of stacks. Again, we don't have an ETA for stacks. We'll ship the device when they are ready to be shipped. But just keep an eye on the inbox that you provided when you pre-ordered the device. That's where we send you updates when your device is ready to ship. Okay, board and flying. I'm just gonna skip that because it's not really a question. It's more like a rant. Crypto Jake. Question from CryptoJake101. Welcome back, CryptoJake, by the way. If I send some tokens to a scammer a couple years ago, is my ledger now compromised? No, it's not, Jake. The only way you can compromise your ledger, so to speak, is by sharing your 24-word recovery phrase. Because if someone has access to your 24-word recovery phrase, it's like giving the keys to your house to someone. Basically, they'll be able to get inside your house, steal everything, and leave. So just sending coins to a scammer is not enough to compromise your accounts. It's just a normal transaction. Next question from Bastian Smith. Can you add a 25th word passphrase with Ledger devices? You can indeed, Bastian. We support passphrases. So maybe you are a Trezor user that just got into Ledger. We do support passphrases, and we do have documentation on passphrases, which I will share with you right now. There is a video and an article tutorial. You can have a look at that. Passphrases, guys, by the way, if you're not familiar, it's an awesome extra security feature where it's almost like adding a password to your accounts and creating secret accounts. So you add a 25th word to 24 words, and that will let you create like a new set of secret accounts. And what's cool about secret accounts is even if you give someone your 24-word recovery phrase, which you should not do, of course, but even if that happens, then the scammer will not have access to your secret accounts, even though they have your recovery phrase, provided, of course, that your passphrase, your 25th word, is actually strong. Okay. Okay, so yeah, Bastian, I dropped a link for you, and you can check it out and see if you need help setting up the passphrase, then just please let me know, and I can give you like a little live demo actually, or yeah, just let me know if you need anything. Okay, Board and Flying said you had the date when we ordered. Yes, there was a date, but then we realized that it's better to say that the device will ship when it's ready to ship instead of just giving ETAs and not being able to meet those ETAs. So yeah, again, apologies. That's on us 100%, but you'll get your device. David, thank you for your answer about Stacks delivery, but after I got 2,850 for each pre-order, we didn't receive any compensation. So I do think, David, if you do want to cancel your order, your Stacks order, then it is also possible. Of course, we're sorry to hear that, but yeah, it is an option. You can just send us a ticket through the help center, and we'll take it from there. So I'll share the link with you in the chat. So if you want to have a refund, of course we'll process the refund. And yep. If not, just hang tight, and the Stacks, will, as soon as I've got more info about the Stacks, we'll share them. Okay, next question. So Benjamin, yeah, thank you. No worries, man. Lane Casey, I somewhat agree with consequences for poor action, but after all, it's a pre-sale. If you need a device, buy a Ledger Nano X, and it comes within a week. Okay, guys, I'm gonna just skip all the Stacks conversation. I know it's important, but yeah, again, like, there's not much more I can say than we're working on it, and this time we'll just make sure that we ship when the device is ready to ship and up to the standard of quality you can expect for the price tag. That being said, if you have any other questions, inviting anyone in the thread here, just drop them in the chat, and I'll be very happy to answer. Next question, to Jeffrey Gazer. Okay, so the Stacks again. So I answered the question. You'll get an email when the Stacks is ready to ship. Next question, XXX8. Can I download the Hashpack on my mobile device, or does it need to be through desktop to transfer HBAR from Exchange onto the Ledger for the first time? That's a good question, XXX8. I have never tried Hashpack on the mobile. I don't think it's possible. Unfortunately, I don't think the mobile Hashpack app supports Ledger devices. But if you have a Nano X, you might want to try with Bluetooth. If you have a Nano S Plus and an Android phone, you might want to try to connect your Ledger device to your phone via a cable and see if you're able to connect that to your Hashpack, but I doubt it. I know it's supported on desktop for sure, but I don't think there is mobile integration for Ledger, at least not yet. Okay, next. Demeter, thanks for the answer. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for the question. Next question from Lynn. Lynn is responding to XXX8, need to be on the desktop. I also had this question, I don't think they understand it as they are viewing on laptop, not mobile, so it doesn't have the same message with us on mobile. Yeah, so I think you're right, Lynn. It's only on desktop for now. Mobile integration, it's up to the Hashpack team. Of course, we're here to help if they reach out, but it's their wallet, and so it's up to them if they want to integrate mobile for Ledger, which would be awesome because Hashpack is a good wallet. Next question, GTube 1999. So they're asking, regarding the 20-forward seed phrase, I know it's statistically unlikely, but doesn't the possibility of someone else generating the same seed phrase become more likely the more people get a hardware wallet? So that's a very interesting question. The answer is actually no. I mean, yes, of course, like you can imagine like there's a finite amount of recovery phrases that can ever be created. And so private keys that can be created, but all your private keys are at the core of a private key is a random number. And your Ledger device is very, very good at creating what we call true randomness. And true randomness is that the device is able to make sure that your number, your private keys will never be the same as my private keys, as their private keys. So even though the finite total amount of private keys that could exist is finite, the statistical probability of you getting the same private keys as I do is so small, so small, that in practice, you will never get into the situation where you'll have the same private keys as someone else, right? So this is very important, and it's only possible because Ledger can create true randomness. We do have documentation on true randomness if you are interested in how this is created. It's actually a rabbit hole. It's quite interesting, so I can link that for you. But yeah, so that's the answer. So you could think that yes, it's possible. It is possible, but very, very unlikely, to the point where it will never happen. So that's the answer. I think something that CS agents will say a lot is that it's the number of possible combinations of you having total recovery phrases that can exist in the world is equal. It's more than the number of atoms in the universe. I mean, it's on that scale of, probability. So you'll never get the same recovery phrase as someone else. Okay, next question. Elan Morel. Hey, is there an ETA on when USDC on Arbitrum will be integrated? Sorry, I butchered your question here. Is there any ETA on when will USDC on Arbitrum start showing on Ledger Live Mobile? I don't think there is an ETA per se, but I can always escalate your requests to the developers so they can hopefully integrate that into the next version of Ledger Live. Let me check real quick though, because it might already be here. So this is my Arbitrum account. I'm gonna try to add a token. Let me see, USDC. Oh, here we go. It is actually supported. Look at that. So yep. So I think you should make sure to update Ledger Live. So make sure you are on this version of Ledger Live, version 2.69.0. That's the latest version of Ledger Live. And then create an Arbitrum account, and you should be able to select USDC. If it's your first time sending USDC to your Ledger accounts, you might want to start like with a small amount of USDC and then making sure that the USDC shows in the account, and then if everything goes well, then you can send everything and the balance. But yeah, so don't forget to update Ledger Live. Maybe I'll share with you a link where you can update. You can update Ledger Live. You can do it from the website, but I'll share that link for you so you can do it safely. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, Elan. Up. Here you go. So again, Elon, make sure you send a little bit of USDC first, and then if that shows on USDC fine, on Ledger Live fine, then just send bounds. Second question from Bastian Smith. Solflare and Ledger Live use different wallet addresses for Solana. Will Ledger Live ever be able to show my Solana addresses that are created in Solflare? Bastian, that is a good question, but I think the reason why the addresses you create in Solflare don't show in Ledger Live is because they have different derivation path. So if you imagine your Solana addresses as a giant tree, Ledger Live can only look down like one branch of the tree, whereas Solflare can look at another branch of the tree. Of course, the private keys are still valid, but Ledger Live will just not be able to detect it. I think what you should do is create a Ledger account in Ledger Live. A Solana account in Ledger Live, and then you go to Solflare and you send your Sol from Solflare to Ledger Live. So you've got everything in the same place. And once you are in Ledger Live and everything has been consolidated in Ledger Live, then you'll be able to do most of the things you can do in Solflare. So here's my Solana account, for example. So you can stake, you can swap, you can buy, send, and receive. So most of the stuff you can do with Solflare, you can also do with Ledger Live. And the cool thing is that this account you see in Ledger Live, you'll also be able to see it via Solflare, which is not necessarily the case when talking about the other way around. Okay, so yeah, that's what I would do. I would send my coins from Solflare, the account that doesn't show in Ledger Live, to the account that shows in Ledger Live. Okay, all right, next question. Pablo G. I'm new. Hey, Pablo, welcome. If you have any questions, go for it. Drop the questions in the chat. Next question from Elon. Is there any alternative to access my Ledger on mobile without using MetaMask on PC? Yeah, I mean, you can download the Ledger Live mobile app. Yeah, I mean, that's the best way you can do it, Elon. Just download Ledger Live on your app, on your mobile device, and connect your Ledger device to it. If you have an Nano X, you can use Bluetooth on iPhone or Android. If you have an Nano S Plus, you'll have to connect your device physically to your phone. On Android, on iOS, it doesn't work, unfortunately. If you have any specific crypto in mind, Elon, then you can also ask me, and I know a bunch of different wallets, so I can help with that as well. But yeah, with regard to Solana, I think on mobile, Solflare. So Solflare will definitely work on mobile. You can connect your Ledger Nano X to Solflare mobile, and you will be able to manage your accounts that way. Let me share the Solflare tutorial with you. That's explained in the article, I think. Sorry, Elon, I'm giving you a ton of documentation here, but I'm sure you'll find it useful. Okay, next question, Lynn Casey. So Lynn Casey responding to Elon, to Bastian. So the article was actually for Bastian. Sorry, I got my wires all across here. Bastian, here's the article. Okay, Pablo G. I have my first ledger. How can I do to have a second one, to have a backup for the first one? Okay, Pablo, that's a good question. So let's say you've got two ledger devices, okay? ledger A, ledger B. If you want to back up, so let's say the Nano X is your main device, and when you set up the Nano X, you got a 20-forward recovery phrase. This phrase is super important. Pablo, if you lose it, or if someone steals it, they'll be able to have access to your account. Never share it, never type it anywhere, never give it to someone. Anyone who has access to your recovery phrase will be able to steal your accounts. Okay, so now that being said, this recovery phrase represents your private keys, and your private keys are stored in your device. Okay, so if you wanted to create a backup, let's say you get a new device, right, an Nano S or an Nano S Plus, then you can simply just take your recovery phrase, set up the new device as set up the new device, and type your recovery phrase into the new device, and that will create a backup. So you'll be effectively cloning your private keys from this device to that device, and now both devices have access to the same account. We have documentation on how to do this. So you can go ahead and I'm going to drop an article in the chat. You can take a look at the steps and create a backup that way. Pablo, I hope that answers your question here, mate. Okay, let's continue. Bitbox. When will Kadena be on Ledger Live? I don't know, Bitbox. Right now you have to use a third-party wallet called Kadena Transfer, I think. But I think eventually that will come in Ledger Live. The thing with Kadena, so I don't know if Kadena has staking, to be honest. I'm not that familiar with Kadena. But if Kadena is a complex blockchain, then that will complicate integration. That being said, Ledger Live and the Ledger ecosystem are completely open. So we're very happy to work with the Kadena team to integrate Kadena into Ledger Live. But again, those integrations, they need to be safe. They tend to take a bit of time. All right, next question. The Lighthouse Chronicles. Hi, I have a Ledger S, not the Plus. Is it still good to use? Yes, mate, it is still good to use. So I've got an S here as well, still working. I've got an old S as well that's about 7 years old, still working. Though the screen is dimming a little bit. So, you can expect that at some point, It's a piece of hardware at the end of the day, so its lifespan is not infinite, but an Nano S kept in good condition can last for a very, very long time. And again, if it's still connected to Ledger Live or any third-party wallet, you're good to go. Now, that being said, the Nano S is a very old device. As Ledger Live will keep updating, there might be a point in the future where you might not be able to connect to Ledger Live anymore with your Nano S, so you'll have to use a third-party wallet, which we don't necessarily recommend. It's safe, but we don't recommend it. We prefer that users use Ledger Live. I would say, if you have a little bit of money to spend, you might want to get a Nano S Plus. Nano S Plus being the device that I'm using here in the live, this one here. It's just a better device. The user experience is very similar to Nano S. You have to connect it, but it's so much better in so many more senses. Like it's got a bigger screen, the buttons are more reactive, it feels more premium, and it does everything your Nano S does as well. So what I would suggest, if you can afford it, and of course it's up to you, but I would say probably if you can, get a Nano S Plus and use your Nano S as a backup. That's what I would do. If not, just keep using Nano S. It's perfectly fine. Again, your coins are secured by your 20-forward recovery phrase, not the device. Okay, so the most important is not the device. The most important is the 20-forward. All right, next question. XXX8. I recently updated my ledger and the firmware, so the ledger and the firmware, and I had to add the coin apps again, but can I delete the apps as I've already have the apps because I'm gonna use the second app? Yeah, for sure. You can. You can, you can absolutely delete the apps. So I'm guessing you're talking about these apps here that show on the Ledger device. You can uninstall them very safely. That's not gonna compromise your account. if you need them later, you can just go back into the manager and re-add. No, you would just go back into the manager just like that. And then you would just, re-add the apps. I'm on a different version of Ledger Live, so I'm just gonna change that real quick so you guys see what I'm doing here. Just want to show you the real manager. Here we go. You see, like you can uninstall an app and then reinstall the app later. That's perfectly safe. Okie doke. Next question. All right, guys. By the way, I'm here for another 15 minutes. If you have any questions, drop the questions in the chat. I'll do my best to go through all the different questions, but there's quite the backlog here. But I'll try to go as fast as I can. Just so you know, there's going to be a session hosted today as well by the US team at I think 4 p.m. Pacific time. So if you guys are located in the US, then you might want to catch that session as well. It will be later today. Again, 4 p.m. Pacific time today on Monday. All right. Next question from Deem TV. Will the XRP reserve be changed in the future? Deem, that's not up to us. The XRP reserve is something that's set up by the XRP community. We don't have the power to change it. Right now, I think it's 10 XRP, but you can get 8 back if you delete your account. But yeah, it's something the XRP team will have to change. We don't have the power to do it. Crypto Jake, thanks for the answer. See you next time. Yeah, Jake, thanks a lot for coming by. Always a pleasure to have you on those chats. Don't hesitate if you have any questions, come back later, tomorrow, anytime you want, mate. Next question from Elon. Can connecting Ledger to malicious website compromise my Ledger if I don't sign or approve any transaction? No, Elon, it will not compromise your Ledger. Do not sign transactions. Yeah, it's because that's the way you could have an account compromised. You wouldn't compromise all your accounts, but it will compromise maybe the account you signed the transaction from. Okay. But yeah, typically scammers, they're very lazy. So they will try to go for the money shots. They will try to get your 24-hour recovery phrase because they know that by just having the words, if they get your words, then they'll be able to access all your accounts. So yeah, so they'll set up fake websites, with fake diagnostics or fake pop-ups or whatever. They will ask you for your 24-hour recovery phrase. And as soon as you type your words, boom, the money will be gone. So again, don't do it. But again, if you just happen to have your Ledger connected to your computer or phone and you happen to be on a malicious website, if you don't sign any transaction or don't share your 24-hour recovery phrase, you're fine. Next question, the Lighthouse Chronicles. Again, I don't see the CAS token. Yeah, it's not supported yet, the Light. In the works, but not supported yet. So bear with us, it will eventually. Next question from Handles. Hey Dan, 2 questions. Will you be adding Arweave to Ledger Live? And second question, how do you restore your coins on a new device in the case you get lost, gets ruined? Is there a video? Yeah, thank you for the questions. So first question, will we be adding Arweave to Ledger Live? The answer is not anytime soon. For now, I would say just keep using the Arweave wallet. It's the best way to do it. In the future, maybe. Second question, how do you restore your coins on a new device? I will share an article that has a video as well that will show you how to do it. But basically the steps are you'll be using a recovery phrase and you'll be punching your recovery phrase into your device. By the way, that's the only safe place where you can type or punch your recovery phrase. That's in your Ledger device, not anywhere else, okay? Handles, let me, just give me a second. I'm gonna share the article and video with you. Up again, guys, like the device is not as important as the 24-hour recovery phrase because your 24 words, they represent your private keys and that's the most important. The device is just a vessel for your private keys, okay? Keep them safe when you connect, your Ledger device to a computer or to an app. Okay, it's meant to be a signer. Okay, a safe place to keep your private keys. But yeah, you have to be careful to never share those words. They're very important. Next question. Board and flying. It's a stacks question. I know your frustration, but I'm gonna skip that one because I think I've talked about stacks before on this stream. But again, we're working on it. Stripes. Is there any security issues with the latest update 2.29? Stripes. So the answer is no. There is no security issues. But 2.29 is actually not the latest version. Maybe that's the latest version of Ledger Live is 2.69, maybe that's the one you had in mind. You don't have to worry. It's just an update of Ledger Live. Updating Ledger Live or updating your Ledger firmware is always safe, okay? People that will tell you that the funds are gone after they updated Ledger Live or the firmware, it's not that. It's because they share the 24-hour recovery frames. It's always that. Or they sign a malicious transaction, that could have compromised an account. But typically what happens is that they get tricked by a scammer into sharing that 24-hour recovery phrase. And that's how they lose their funds. So to answer your question again, there is no issue. You can safely update Ledger Live or the device firmware. Go for it. It's actually recommended. Okay. I'll try to go through all the last question, guys. Mustafa Lam. Hello, Dan. Hello, Mustafa. I've not received an email from pre-order Ledger Stacks. Okay. So you should have received a email update from us. It's basically an update that says like, hey guys, like, we're sorry, we have to delay the stacks a little longer just to make sure that the device is good and we still have some work on it. But you also get like a free, if you decide not to cancel your pre-order, then you get a free magnetic shell with the device if you did the regular pre-order. But if you pre-order using the NFT on top, you get the stacks, of course, but you also get the stacks, the magnetic shell, and a free Nano S Plus. So that's what you get. Mustafa, if you didn't get this email, then you can open a ticket via the Help Center, which I'll share right now. There is a contact us button, so you can just send us an email, and the person on the other side, one of my colleagues, will do the necessary to send you the email again if you didn't get it. Mustafa, here we go. Oops. All right, guys, 5 more minutes. Let's see. Next question, Alberto. If I have 2 Ledger accounts in Ledger Live and I want to delete one and just see one, can I do that? Yeah, you can do it. You just pick your accounts. Like you see, like this is my Ledger device and I've got tons of accounts because of course I work at Ledger. And so I get questions from, about any blockchain, but they all tied to this device here. They all share, all the private keys are secured by this device. And if I wanted to remove my XRP2 account, for example, but keep my other XRP accounts, then I can just remove this XRP account and, keep using the other XRP accounts that I have up there. And that's it, you see? So removing one account doesn't stop you from using the other account. And you can add as many accounts as you want. It's up to you. Of course, I would suggest that, you keep things organized. Don't add too many empty accounts. It's not necessary. All right, next question. Bastien. Yeah, thank you, mate. Pablo, thanks. You're welcome, mate. Delight. Yeah, you're welcome. Tom Cam, welcome back. Hey, Dan. Thanks again for the live. How are you doing? I'm doing great, man. Thank you for the kind words. I hope you're doing well as well, wherever you are. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll try to get back to you. There is a lot of questions, so maybe tomorrow. Next question from Elon. It's about the Arbitrum USDC. I have the latest version. It shows the balance 0 in Ledger Live Mobile, but It's there on Arbiscam, same for Optimism USDC. Okay, so maybe that's something with the mobile version. Can you try on desktop and check if that shows? I mean, if it shows on Arbiscam, then the coins are definitely in your account, so you don't have to worry about it. You can probably use like some other wallets, like Rainbow, connected to your Ledger Nano X on mobile. Should do the trick. Rainbow wallet. If not, like just use desktop. I think desktop should be able to show the USDC balance you're looking for. Elon, let me share the Rainbow tutorial if that helps. Next question, B055, Nano X versus Nano S Plus. Which should I go for, or should I go for the backup pack? I would say backup pack. If you can afford it, backup pack is best because you know, if something happens to one of your Ledger devices, then you have the second Ledger device, and you can keep using your accounts. You know, there is no downtime, so I would say backup pack is always the best option. Yeah, so I would go for the backup pack if you can afford it. If you can't and you don't know which one to choose, Nano X, Nano S Plus, I'd say it depends what kind of experience you want. If mobile experience is important for you, I would go for a Nano X because you can connect it to the mobile app via Bluetooth. So that's quite nice. You can use your device on the go. If you don't really care about the mobile experience, and you don't mind connecting your Ledger device and using it with a laptop or desktop computer, then just go for Nano S Plus. It's a perfectly good device. What's constant is like all those devices, they have the same security. So it's really down to, you know, features, what you like best. Triple X8, for example, XRP. I already have 2 accounts and when I updated it and add the apps, now I have 3 XRP apps. Oh, you mean accounts? Can I delete the 3 apps as you will not be using the 3rd XRP account? Yeah, you can do that. You can totally do that. Triple X. Sorry, because like at Ledger, we internally like an app. So we use a slightly different terminology. Like for us, an app is that, you know, it's something you install on a device, whereas the account is what you see in Ledger Live. So we call accounts the thing in Ledger Live and app the thing on the device. So I got confused there. But yeah, if you have multiple accounts, XRP accounts, and you want to hide one of them, then that's fine. Even if you want to download, delete or uninstall the app on your device, the XRP app, then you can also do it. No worries. Next question from, so I hope I answered your question, Triple X. I hope I did. Okay, next. HPNHIBNS. This sentence, common lock screen subtitle, appears in the log after someone claims to have been hacked after a new update. Okay, so I know what you're talking about. So first of all, this little common lock screen subtitle is just a visual bug. It has no impact on Ledger, on your funds. It's not dangerous. I have it on my Ledger as well. My funds are perfectly fine. It's only on the lock screen. It's just a bug. So you don't have to worry about it. It will be fixed in the next version of Ledger Live. For now, it's just don't worry about it. I think the person that, I know there is a person that had quite a lot of XRP on their accounts and they got their accounts drained and they thought it was, you know, and they could see that in the Ledger device. But the truth is, it's not because of that. This is just a visual bug. What happened to that person, unfortunately, you know, I can't tell for sure, but I'm 99.9% sure that at some point she got tricked by a scammer into sharing her 20-forward recovery phrase, and that was the end of it. You know, if someone has your 20-forward recovery phrase, then they can access your accounts, and there's nothing else you can do. You know, once the funds are out of your account, it's pretty much over. It's extremely difficult to get the funds back. So I think that's pretty much what happened to this person. That being said, we are in contact with her, and we'll try our best to help, you know, the police track the funds, and hopefully there is a, you know, happy ending to the story. But honestly, it's once the funds have been moved, and if you compromise your private keys by sharing a 20-forward recovery phrase, the chances of recovery are very, very slim. But again, it has nothing to do with the sentence. in Ledger Live. This is just a visual bug, no connection at all. Also remember that Ledger Live doesn't store anything. Ledger Live is just an app that's looking at accounts on the blockchain. What stores things is the device, and it stores recovery phrases. Private keys. Okay, next. Elon, one last question. No problem. Is it safe to connect Ledger Nano S Plus with MetaMask on the Kiwi browser on mobile? I've never used Kiwi browser, but MetaMask, you will not be able to connect it. I don't think you will be able to do it. I've never tried this particular configuration, but I know that MetaMask does not. I'll have to try. So I would say yes, it's safe because your device is, designed to be safe when connected to a third-party wallet. But I don't think it's going to work because MetaMask, typically you would use the MetaMask app on your phone, and that one is not compatible with Ledger devices on mobile, at least yet. If you're looking for, with the Nano S Plus, it's a little difficult, but you might be able to make it work on the Kiwi browser. It's interesting. I've never tried, but I would say it's probably better if you use a desktop at this point with MetaMask or Nano X Plus, whatever, Rainbow Wallet, for example, on mobile. Okay, next question from Rob. Hi Dan, I have Jasmy on my Ledger Nano X. Can I swap it for Kaspa? No, unfortunately, Rob, you can't because Kaspa is not supported, so you're not going to be able to swap it. All right, guys, I'll go through the last questions real quick. That being said, don't forget there's going to be a live at 4 p.m. Pacific today as well, hosted by the US team as well. So if your question doesn't make it to this live, then you can catch the next one. Next question, Yassine Duran. I've been having problems with, for a month, byte array longer Near problem. It's not solved yet with Near Wallet. You have to use a third-party wallet called a Near Wallet as well to go around this issue. We are working on a fix, but it's not live yet. The fix is not live. That being said, you can use a third-party wallet. I'll drop a tutorial for you in the chat you've seen here. Okay, next question. Edison, until when Ledger will continue supporting the Nano S? Yeah, it will. The Nano S will keep working until it doesn't work, but it will not work with Ledger Live, but that doesn't mean the Ledger Nano S will stop working. It might be, if you keep updating Ledger Live, there might be a point where your Nano S will not be able to communicate with Ledger Live anymore. I don't know when, but that will happen probably in the future. But the Nano S device itself will still work, will still be safe, and then you'll still probably be able to connect it to a third-party wallet, like, I don't know, MetaMask or Electrum for Bitcoin and things like that, to keep using it. It's just that you won't be able to use it with Ledger Live eventually. Okay, but for now, you can still use it. That being said, I would recommend that you update to Nano S Plus. Honestly, it's worth it. Kelvin Wan. Hi Dan, is it possible to send BTC from a CX, so a centralized exchange, to my Ledger Nano via the TRC20 Bitcoin network? TRC20 BTC network? If yes, do I use the... No, man. I would say don't do it because it's not supported in Ledger Live yet, and or it's safe to send it to the accounts, but it's going to be a nightmare for you to manage those tokens. So Ledger Live is not optimized to manage Bitcoin tokens, so I wouldn't do it. I would say, get a SIP for the BTC. You can store it with your Ledger and Ledger Live, but for tokens, then you might as well go for different wallets, or wait until we ship an integration for a proper UX and UI for TRC20 tokens. Okay. All right. A few more questions and then I'll go, guys. Triple X8. How do you remove an account using mobile device? I'll show you right now. I know it's not super intuitive. I hope. Okay, so. Oh, I don't have accounts. I just reset Ledger Live. Okay, so you would tap. Wait a second. We have a tutorial. I'll just send you the tutorial. It's a little hidden, but it's possible. XXX. XXX. There you go. Yeah, check that out. Tom Can, no question then, just wanted to say hi, greetings from Greece. Oh, you're from Greece. Okay, yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, and greetings from Paris. Hope you guys getting good weather over there. Next question. Alright. Next question, faker question in, I guess, Chinese. I'm not sure, mate. I don't speak Chinese, unfortunately, so I'm not going to be able to help you. Next question from Jill Smith. Hey, can I use the CL card outside Europe, Sri Lanka, for example? Not yet. Sri Lanka is not supported yet, but yeah, it will eventually. But not for now. It's UK only. Next, US, and then Europe, and then the rest of the world. But that might take time. B055. Thanks for the answer. I'll go for the backup. Yeah, it's a good idea. I think you'll feel more secure. Remember, always keep your 24-hour recovery phrase. Okay, that's the most important. Not necessarily the device. It's nice to have a backup device, but the most important is the recovery phrase. Next question from API is me. Thank you for having these lives. I've been stressing out about starting. Yeah, no worries. That's why we do them. How do you keep other people from choosing my ledger when connecting that Bluetooth? When connecting the Bluetooth. Ah, right. Okay. Well, they can't connect to your app. So I'm guessing like you mean that when you tap my ledger, you can see other people's device on my ledger, and then you have to select which one you want. That's normal. It's just the way the app is designed. You can rename your device, by the way, in the My Ledger tab to give it a name, so you make sure that you're only connecting to your device by My Ledger and not to someone else's device. B055, yes, get a CryptoSteel backup. That's even better. That's a good way to do it. Because the cards are a little, flammable. I mean, they're slightly resistant to flames, but it's not great. So I would say CryptoSteel backup, yeah, a very good solution. And then if you really want to go advanced, you can go for a passphrase. A passphrase is just an additional security feature. But I would say, just go slowly, okay? Just secure a little bit of crypto in your account. Get familiar with securing your own keys, and then after 6 months, when you have a good grip on it, then maybe upgrade to passphrase and come back to those lives. All right, guys, I'm going to have to go, unfortunately, because it's time and I have to stop this live. But do you know what? There's going to be another live in a few hours, hosted by the US team, 4 p.m. CT. 4 p.m. Pacific. So you can tune in and catch that. If you want to see me and Pringle at 4, we'll be back live at 4:30 p.m. CET tomorrow, Tuesday. So you can always also come to that. And yeah, we'll be happy to help you. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mustafa. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Yassine. So Yassine says, I tried this, but it doesn't work. I can't make my NIA transfer for a month. I imported the account. My account does not appear. I'll give you another third-party wallet, Yassine, that you can try. Try this one instead. Just make sure you follow all the different steps. So if the first wallet didn't work, try this one. See how it goes. All right, guys. Okay, so just one last. So Karnak, great to hear it worked. It's absolutely normal that only one validator shows as active with the green tick mark. That's normal because that's how the reward algorithm works. It will only select one active validator, and it's that validator that will pay you. All your stake will go behind that one validator that's active, and that will pay you the rewards. So you're fine. This is intended. This is the way it's supposed to work. As long as you see a tick mark, then you're good. That's I'm glad that the rebagging worked. Don't forget to rebag again if you're gonna add more, if you're gonna bond more DOT to your account, add to your stake, you might have to rebag, rebag every single time you add to your DOT stake. It's a best practice. So you make sure that your stake is always recognized and will always get rewards. Okay, cool. All right, guys, I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much again. That was always fun to have those lives. I'll be back tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. CT, so you can catch me. I'll be with Pringe. And again, the US team is going to host a live stream at 4 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. Pacific later today as well. So take care. Again, do not share your 24 recovery phrase. Never share it. Never, protect it like if it was your life. Never type it. Don't take a picture of it. The scammers will try to get your words. If they do, they'll be able to steal your funds. So don't let them get your crypto. Okay. All right. That being said, I'm off. See you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye.